Underground dialogue, we gon' tell the truth. We ain't scared like a lot of y'all. Matters who they are. Do we bow? No, not at all. Dropping bombs on this wicked world, so it gotta fall. Underground dialogue, we gon' tell the truth. We ain't scared like a lot of y'all. Matters who they are. Do we bow? No, not at all. Dropping bombs on this wicked world, so it gotta fall. From the industry to the Oval Office, we expose the darkest motives of them all and disclose what the protocol is. Thinking and moving logical, stopping every maneuver possible, and apologizing for truth is not optional. We gon' help you with what you go through, reshape and mold you, and sweep over them weak lies they told you. If you living with no clue, we gon' deprogram the old you, and you get to keep your soul too.
What up, man? It's your big brother, K. Reno.
And it's your boy, Keith Stove.
Y'all are tuned in again to another episode of the Underground Dialogue Podcast where the name speaks for itself. And tonight, we got another vet sitting in the seat, man. We got another OG sitting in the seat, man. One of South Park Coalition's own. I've watched this brother, I won't say transition from music because he still does music, but he has added to his resume of music the tech world. He's always been a guy who's just been a solid individual. He's always been a guy who's been an underrated lyricist and an underrated writer and artist. A man, a visionary, a man of many hats. My brother from another. A man of many caps.
Yeah,
that's a good one, Keystone. My brother from another, the one and only Mr. Cap. What's going on, man?
Yo, what's up? What's up?
What's the good news? What's the good word, man? How you been?
Man, I've been great, man. Honestly, I can't complain. A lot of stuff didn't happen, but the greatness is overshining all the other stuff, man.
Yeah, without a doubt, man. We want to familiarize you to people who might not know. You know, I've been knowing you 30 plus years, and other people that's in the circle that you moved around, they know your MO. But for those that might not, let them know when you got started, where you got started, where you from, and just go into that origin like that.
Yeah, originally from South Park. I got started at a early age in my, before my teen years, back when I was in elementary, in the music, because my family is in the music business. My uncles had a band. My mom, she plays instruments, and my dad played instruments. So I had a lot of musicians on both sides of the family, and that's kind of came up in the music part of it. I knew I wanted to be a rapper. Back in the days of like the Eric B and Rakim and all that kind of Curtis Blow. When I said that I'm definitely gonna do that. But I was like 9, 10, 11 years old.
So when your parents was doing their thing, you never took up an instrument. You never wanted to take up an instrument.
I did. I took up drumming. I took up, playing the keyboard keys and stuff like that. I'm not, I took the keys. I could play by ear. Mm-hmm. Drums, I would play by ear. I was never, classically trained or formally trained, and then like my parents was, but they would teach me. My dad was really strict on how if we picked up an instrument and we liked it, then he basically forced us to learn it.
Joe Jackson, yeah. Hit you with the Joe Jackson. So the rap side, because you say you started like in your early teens wanting to rap here and Eric B and Rakim and all that. Did you start off as a solo or use the group dynamic was first? Because I know I started off in the group dynamic because Run DMC and Houdini and all that.
Well, it was more like family. Like my family, my uncles, when they band was kind of on a decline or whatever, me and my cousins and my brother and my sisters, they all could sing and rap and stuff like that. So when we was little kids, they would hold like little concerts in the backyard. My uncles were carpenters and stuff like that. They'll build stages, set chairs up, and charge the people like people in the neighborhood like $2 to come back there in the backyard, and we'll perform. And so that was my first taste of performing. My first taste of getting paid to perform was at the Cinder Club, Ray Barnett.
Man, the Cinder Club. Yeah. Boy, I ain't heard that name in 10,000 years, man. The Cinder Club used to be a Kip's Big Boy back in the day. No, was the hamburger place?
Yeah, it's where the hamburger place at now.
It used to be Kip's Big Boy.
Yeah.
No, not Burger Park. But then it turned into like say the Center Club was a nightclub. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Well,
and the way that happened, way that worked was because we was too young to be in the club, so they would pretty much usher us in through the back door. We'd hit the stage, do our thing, and then they'll push us out the back door and give us like $25 to split.
Man, that's crazy. And this had to be in the 80s.
It was in the 80s, It was in the 80s.
That's crazy, man. So what kind of performance y'all went in there doing the Jackson 5 and then like y'all was actually rapping
Boogaloo.
We would do rap songs like little beat bop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it would be like they would play a popular song. They play a Jackson 5 song, but it's just the instrumental record, and we just be rapping.
Gotcha.
Just beat bopping. You know what I'm saying? Not like beat boxing, but beat
Yeah,
bopping.
yeah.
Yeah, just bop. Yeah. Breaker. Come
Man.
on, from Jamaica type of stuff.
Yeah. All original content there. That's at an early age. We was kind of in that same boat, man, in Third Ward, rapping in Samson and McGowan, just 14, 15 years old. My dad bringing us in there and doing our thing. So I can definitely relate to that. So at what point when was you thinking about trying to actually make records and actually record and go to the studio and all that?
That would have been like during high school.
Yeah.
Like in my, because we had moved to San Antonio for a little while. And so we wasn't here on the Houston scene like that. So, I mean, I wasn't here on the Houston scene, but, 14, 15 and 16, those ages of my life, I lived in San Antonio and I was hooking up with other rappers out there, and I would just be out there rapping, battling and stuff like that. And
so how'd the family, actually, I never knew that. How'd y'all end up in San Antonio? Was it you or did the family move out there?
My mom, a situation. My mom, my dad they was breaking up, and my mom decided to, move to San Antonio. Mm-hmm. She got a job transferred to San Antonio for a few years, and just kind of get away from the Houston stuff. But she was still, my mom still performed to this day.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Singing?
No, she played flute and saxophone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. When did the ism come? When that 16 letter? When did the pimpin' come, man? I've been waiting on this one.
He looking at you like, so you really gonna ask me that, huh? You really gonna ask me that, huh?
I've been listening.
Well, I was exposed to it at an early age, just like the music, because I had people in my family that was that, you know what I'm saying? And now my mom wasn't in the game. My dad wasn't in the game. I had uncles and other people that was in there. Johnny Guitar Watson was, he was in the game like that. That's one of my uncles.
Yeah.
And,
wow.
So he was in it, and just kind of like I kind of just seen it a lot. You know what I'm saying? So when I got older, I kind of picked it up naturally, but since then I got away from it. It's not that. It's just I want to be free.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot that go on with that. So it's a lot of stuff that go on people don't know about.
Where'd you get your style from? 'Cause I was listening, man. You be chopping it up, man. Like I seen one with you and Kano.
Oh, the one yeah. One with Kano and Blank.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's just like, okay, so I don't know where I get my style from. I just know I didn't want to sound like nobody. That's what made me want to be a part of the SPC, because everybody had their own style. That's what I thought was dope about the SPC. And Tech Nine, me and Tech Nine had a group together. You know what I'm saying?
He talking about Southpaw Coalition Tech Nine.
Yeah,
not Kansas City
before.
Tech Nine.
Now I had already been knowing K since we was little.
Yeah.
Y'all was little?
Yeah, I've been knowing since I was we been in McGregor Park, So I've been knowing K and them since young age, but as far as the music stuff go, we had a group. We had a group called N-Word Under Siege. I know we cuss on here, but
They ain't cut shit.
so we had a group called Niggas Under Siege.
Yeah.
Me, Tech Nine, and a couple other brothers that was in the group. And we was in high school. It was at Jack A's rapping and culling and stuff like that. So yeah.
And what's crazy, early on, because the Southpaw Coalition Tech Nine, he's Texas Tech now.
Texas
Y'all
Tech,
know him as
I keep
Texas
calling
Tech.
Tech Nine.
Yeah, but that's because who we was back then. Then the other guy came out blew up, so he altered that. But y'all was rapping with Bam for a little while too.
We the ones who brought Bam into the rap game.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Talk about that for a little bit, because that's a guy who
That's one of my favorites.
Just made his way and built his name up. But I remember that at one point y'all was all rocking in the same crew together. Like
so Bam, he had his own little clique of cats that he hung with, and we was hanging with another dude named Latif, and Latif and Bam was partners. And so Latif and Bam was coming around to Daryl Scott when Daryl Scott was trying to manage the Niggas Under Siege group. And we just like Bam. Bam, he said, we just gonna come over here and start doing music with us. So he came over and started writing music with us at the record shop.
Wow, man, that is crazy.
We were showing him how to write. We were showing him and he just kind of took his own thing and went and started doing his own thing.
Yeah, man, that is crazy, man. Yeah. We got the one and only Mr. Cap up in this thing. So being from South Park, how did you end up at Yates in Third Ward?
Because we stayed in that area that's kind of like, we grew up in that area by McGregor Park.
Oh, I already know what you're saying. They argue if that's South Park or if that's Third Ward all the time. Yeah. They argue whether McGregor Park is Third Ward or South Park. Just people from now. I guess geographically, if they went to the actual details of it, somebody could give you that answer.
What's that?
But people from there, they'll say Third Ward. Okay. But a lot of times we be, man, that's South Park. So because it's straight down Martin Luther King OST. South Park, but other people on the other side said, "Nah, it's Third Ward." So so that's how you kind of ended up at Yates.
Yeah, but I did stay in the dead end, and we went. I went to Thomas. For a little while. Yeah, but while I was at Thomas, that's during the time my mom ended up moving to San Antonio. Gotcha. So that's how we ended up leaving while I was in middle school, and then coming back when I was in high school. I came back in the 10th grade.
Yeah. So you definitely you old enough to remember the time when Houston wasn't Houston like it is now.
Absolutely.
And
what do you think about Houston right now?
Yeah.
For us, what?
For us, everything.
It's definitely a lot of. It's evolved a whole lot. I say it like that.
Have it evolved? I know it's evolved. Have you feel like it's devolved in a lot of aspects, mainly musically? Cause I like to ask that question.
Yeah, I hate answering that question because I don't want to. I don't want the music, the evolution of music to stop. I don't want it to get. In my opinion, I could see it going bad because I see it. It seems like it's going kind of bad. But the evolution of it, it's always, like something the last generation didn't like.
Yeah.
Like, I know I don't like the new music now. Not all of it. Some of it I do like, but the stuff that's making it the biggest, I think it's like ridiculous. But we was treated the same way when we started. When we was coming out and putting out records and stuff like that back in the late 80s and stuff, the R&B cats wasn't feeling it, what I mean? So it was a transition for them too, but I feel like we were still making good music. Mm-hmm. I just think the music now is lacking. Yeah. My opinion, I think it's lacking a little bit.
You think it's lacking because the creativity is not there because they're not trying, or is it lacking because everybody's already done everything? Neither one might be your opinion.
I think that is lacking because the people that got the power, I ain't talking about the power people, I'm talking about the artists that got the power, that got the platforms, the big platforms. I think the responsibility they could be taking in their music ain't being took. That's what I think.
Yeah. No, that's always been an argument because, like you mentioned, the big powers, the one who put the music out, and they have a stranglehold on content, just like the artists do. But sometimes the artists can get short-stopped when they want to do better, but the labels are saying, no, keep doing this because this is what's popping, this is what's selling.
Put that auto-tune on your stick.
Yeah, or just even or worse, the content itself. I was gonna ask you about coming from a time when it wasn't no Houston scene. You know, we can remember that, and people didn't even think that rap music was gonna be something that was even gonna be around in a few years. What was your thought on that in the early days? Because I always felt like, man, I know this gonna still last. I never saw it as being a fad. Did you buy into that, or you felt the same way? Like, nah, this gonna be here.
Nah, you know, like I was so in love with hip hop and rap to where I knew for a fact it was gonna be, you know, it's gonna be the thing. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I mean, the proof is now, you know, everything got rap and hip hop in it.
Right.
I don't care what genre it is. Hip hop can transcend all genres. So, proof is right now what you hear now, even if it's not that great. But I mean,
and to build on what Keisto was asking too about Houston, and talking about on the rap side, what did you think about just how our style evolved? Because we didn't have the respect from the rest of the nation at the time. What were you thinking at that time about, hey man, how can we get our name mentioned with the East Coast and the West Coast, and or was that something that you even thought about back then?
Yeah, I did. I was, you know, like you say at the beginning, I'm a visionary. I was always trying to figure out, even to this day, I still be trying to figure out, you know, like how do we like be on that level? Like, yeah, we down here in the South, but we got our own style. You know what I'm saying? Like what we here on the West Coast, we here on the East Coast. What we had down here, the SPC, we had our own sound. SPC had their own sound, you know. But I think the SPC kind of like led the charge in the sound in Houston in general.
I do too. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So,
now these days, what do you think about the respect that you get when you come back from Houston? Because I remember hip hop's 50th. When y'all got celebrated with the award, you probably was the most happiest on that stage. You had the camera, you had everything, and then the same time, like at Screw Day, same way as well. It seems like you really love to soak in that love that the city gives you. Is that true or not?
Yeah. It's because, man, it's like when I was in LA. I lived in LA for 8 years. I had a record come out there in LA that they pushed in LA. They put a lot of money behind it. The record did well. It was playing on the radio the whole nine. And it was pretty out there. It was decent. And I ain't saying it was like a huge, but I was getting feedback from out here too. But only while I was out there. When I came back out here, it was like, oh yeah, that's Cap. He's here, so we ain't gotta worry about him too much. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I mean, like, I do like it. I do like that kind of feedback because I feel like as just not just as an SPC member, but the SPC as a whole more than deserve it. You know what I'm saying? And you talking about all of us still living. We, you know, RIP to some of the members that done passed, a couple of members that done passed away, but for the most part, we still here. We still pretty active. And, you know, when somebody do recognize the SPC, it's like, yeah, hell yeah, come on, give me that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because let's just call it for what it is. A lot of times they don't, you know, and that's a good thing to mention, because if we were just talking before y'all got here, we was talking about how people like Bun, Face, Zero, Kiki, guys like that, they have always showed us love on the big platforms.
Yeah.
Not just see you somewhere around the corner and then tell you everything about you, but when they get in front of those big cameras, when you nowhere around, you ain't talked to these guys in months and they shout you out. See, that was always our issue. Like, dude, you know, if MTV would come to town, if whoever would come to town, they would make all the rounds and they would go to every pocket, every entity out this city, and 98% of the time they would skip over us. And I understand where part of that come from. Part of that come from, you know, we were so underground, and we was probably the one clique to ever come out this city, even to this day, that had the success we had,
Yeah.
but didn't get no radio play. We had no radio
Really
song.
none, yeah.
So if you look at every other clique, if you look at Rap A Lot, Screwed Up Clique, Swisher House, always they always had records that made it to the radio. We didn't. So from that standpoint, from the outside looking in, I could see somebody out of town. They just probably just didn't know.
Yeah.
But my issue, and I'm sure Cap, Blank, Nip, whoever, Cat would say the same thing. It's like, okay, if you come down here to deal with me, I'm gonna tell you who else you need to deal with too.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna say, well, hold on, I know y'all talk, but y'all need to go holler at Wicked Cricket.
Right.
Y'all need to go holler at that.
Right.
And we felt like a lot of times that wasn't done, by everybody. Nobody owe us nothing, but it just, that
It was only so much that even with like my small connections I have when people come and they want to do something in the city, they're like, well, who's an artist in the city? I'll be like, yeah, you got K Reno, Point Blank, Cliche. I'll be naming our people from our clique, and they like, I ain't never heard of them. I'm like, but you need to look them up, look it up, and you will see that we are the ones, we are them ones.
Yeah, we get it. Like I say, we didn't. You can't name because people come and say, well, we South Park Coalition, and you say, well, we've been around for 40 years. Well, they'll say, what y'all saying? You're not gonna know what we saying. Right. You're not gonna know unless you know. Yeah. You're not gonna know unless you had an older brother or a daddy or an uncle that was listening to us back in the day. So crazy. It's complicated to kind of bring people into that understanding. But the thing about it is that we haven't stopped. We've continued on despite all that and still eating, still doing what we do. Now, what I wanted to go into with you kind of as a segue from that, most of us, we just been artists.
Yeah.
We just been artists. I don't care who you mentioned out the South Park Coalition, that's what it was. But what Cap did and has done, he is dragging us into the tech world.
Yeah. What do you think go ahead.
Some of us dragging us kicking and screaming, people like me, because I didn't understand and still don't really understand
money shit.
But he's kind of slowly leading us into understanding, like, nah, man, this is something y'all need to really be immersed in, and it can fuse together with the music to be more beneficial. What draws you into that side with the AI and the NFTs? When did your interest in that side kick in?
Well, when we're talking about AI, NFTs, and crypto, all that stuff is fairly new to the world, to the mainstream world. But I had been digging off into it because I always been into tech, and my thing was always to figure out how to marry music and technology, And I was like, I think I was one of the first people to go into this distribution stuff online. Because I was the one that was calling people back out here in Houston when I was in Vegas. I was talking to the owners of CD Baby and stuff when they was first raising up. When MP3s and stuff was first starting to hit the scene, I was on the scene of it because I'm deep off into the tech world. And my thing was to try to marry the music to the tech world, and I thought that was the way to go about it. But it's like, hey, we still got to press CD. Every time I would call down here, I call K, I done call Blank. I used to call Slim Thug, Lil Flip, everybody. I was calling them and say, hey, man, we got to get online with our music. And they were like, oh, man, computer nerd type of stuff.
You ain't going to get them away from the CD.
But now everybody still got to make sure their music get online.
Yeah. We were
but now I'm moving away from that. Yeah. I'm moving away from the Spotify's and the music and stuff now because they not paying nobody right.
Exactly.
So what I started moving into the NFT side of it because at first NFTs wasn't for music. It was just for like visual artists and stuff like that. People that paint and draw and stuff like that. And they would curate these marketplaces and sites only for them. And we were trying to figure out how to create protocols to bring in the music. And we did at some point. So I was pioneered that part of it. And now that, crypto is kind of where it is right now with cause your song now, once you make it into the NFT is crypto. It's a token. That's what it stands for, non-fungible token. So your music, that's the best way to copyright your music and solidify your music as it being yours. It's not gonna go no, it's gonna be on the blockchain forever.
Right.
And if it ever sell, and you'll make money off of it for the rest of your life. So if I do a project with K Reno and that project sells, say it sell one, hit his first sale go out and it make all the money that it's gonna make. He pocket all that money, but he have set up residuals so that when the next person sell it, he gonna get a kickback from that sale, and so on and so forth. And that's what I've been trying to get everybody into in Houston. But I think, just adapting to the crypto world is so techy and it's not easy to adapt to, and it's not made easy. You got to have a intuitiveness about tech to even grasp it. Now it's being made a little bit more easy, but it's kind of fading now. Finna go to a whole nother thing.
Wow. Is it like crypto where it goes up and down, like the value goes up and down? Because this last week, man, that stock market was...
But the reason why it does that is because it's not the stock market.
It's not.
You gotta remember, it's not stock. It's cryptocurrency. It's currency.
Oh, it's currency. Okay.
So the problem that people have, everybody have, that's not aware of the technology of it is it's currency. You need it to transact and exchange, right? So if we have me and K Reno do a collaboration on a record, and I put it up as an NFT on a particular site, maybe that site require you to use Bitcoin or Ethereum or Solana or something to actually purchase it. This is where, US dollars, it may have a US dollar valuation, but you can't use a US dollar to purchase the item. Right. You feel me? So it's for that mainly, but everybody look at it like, oh yeah, I could give me $100 worth of Bitcoin, and then I could, when it go up, I come up. Yeah, it's gonna go up, it's gonna go down and you're gonna come up, but it's kind of pointless to have it only for that reason. You need it. You need to have it.
What do you think about the US dollar in the future? You think everybody gonna be going on to Bitcoin?
I can't predict that. Yeah. I know that right now we're in a time where everybody is trying to. Right now, I created a company. I started a startup company where we developing cryptocurrency for different companies. So a lot of companies want to get out. We want to tokenize they company or tokenize their product or something like that. So everybody kind of like bum rushing, just like when the .coms and stuff, So we're in that phase right now,
Yeah, well, I can tell you the U.S. dollar is in free fall, and it won't be long. It's declining. It's really worthless now. It
ain't never really been worth nothing since the 30s.
Yeah, since they took it out the gold standard, silver standard. But so that's what it is. But it's not. It's only paper now.
Yeah, we give it value.
Right, exactly.
Name brand,
exactly. And they can print up as much of it as they want, but. The economy is in free fall and it's going to collapse. So with that being said, a lot of people are starting to talk about cashless society and things of that nature. What is your mind fall in terms of that? And do you look at crypto as something that's going to be like, this is what's going to be the new currency once the actual physical dollars is not relevant?
I believe it'll be something. It may not even be called crypto no more. You know what I'm saying? Just like NFTs and it may be something that's similar to that, but it may not be called NFTs because it's just like those are the things that people are like, they cringe when they hear the word. Yeah. It'll be something similar to that. I think that it will go to, and we're already pretty much cashless right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't carry cash no more. It's weird for me to even carry cash now. Yeah. It's not like back in the days. I love having big stacks of money, 30, 40, 50 grand. Like I'm like, what am I gonna do with this? Yeah. I'm gonna put it in the bank and put it on my car.
Right. And then you see a lot of rappers, a lot of young people, even now to this day, like say you got the money phones, they got and so they are kind of still, because I still carry some cash. I still, but it's because we're gonna rock it out as long as it has something. As
Yeah,
long
but
as
they
you can
don't
do
value
something
it the
with
same way
it.
we
They
do.
not valuing it the
Yeah.
same way, and it's more of a flex
It's a flex.
than
They
it
put
is
it on
the
fire.
yeah right or it
Yeah.
just to show
Yeah.
this is my value. My value is rooted in how much
much-
it is.
yeah.
I can show you,
Yeah.
not necessarily how much I have. I can show you this because why would you just have this all out like this?
Yeah, because it ain't really a flex to put a little card on the table.
Something
Yeah,
like
you
that.
see, like it'll be a point where you can walk into a bank with the shades and hat on, and the facial recognition of just okay, we know he got $100 million in the bank, and you just walk up there and say, I want,
There you go. As soon as it gets you.
Yeah.
Ding-ding.
Right.
just like that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like, hey, I want $1,000. They just they probably be reading your brain scan.
And see, that's the thing. See, like, I did a live stream on my other YouTube channel the other night, and somebody was talking about how they got the hand palm identification thing at Whole Food and places like that now. And I was making a joke. I said, "Yeah, you gonna walk up to the scan and just put your forehead on there and beep." And then look, if it ain't right in your head, they're gonna decline your head. It's like slide it again, sir. But nah, I mean, it just shows how the world is changing. But we did an episode probably about a year ago of talking about AI.
Yeah.
We called it the pros and cons of AI. Okay. And I know you real heavy into AI. We was coming back from Austin that night, and you let me hear he let me hold a whole podcast that was AI.
Yeah.
But they was talking about him on the podcast. It was an AI pod. So it's like, but if you don't know no better, you like, oh, this is a real show.
Yeah,
Two real people talking.
Tell you,
Yeah.
You'll be like, hey, nigga,
Where they do this at? In New York? Or, you know?
I heard the new Tupac and Biggie song.
Well, like the AI, AI is like what it is right now. It's the worst it's gonna be, right?
That's what everybody keeps saying.
It's the worst it's gonna be, and it's like crazy good right now.
Kay was saying it's like gonna be like Atari graphics.
Yeah, it's like Atari was when it first came out, but now how they got it now, what it's gonna be is gonna be like, oh my gosh, you know.
Right, yeah. So you can't we can't imagine, like we thought we'll be flying cars in the year 2000, right?
Yeah.
But I never thought that. I always thought like the problem with flying cars is cars break down.
Yeah.
So what they gonna do if they
That bag was gonna drop out the sky,
exactly. So
land on somebody.
I never felt like we would ever have. I never felt like we even be able to create an infrastructure for flying cars.
Yeah.
Because it's just way too much physics to have.
Man, you can have a wreck in mid-air.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Falling out of the sky.
Mid-air collision.
Yeah, use some parachutes or something.
I always thought of that.
Yeah,
but as far as AI, like you can't even predict what it's gonna be. Yeah, it's going at this upward slope as far as how good it's getting, but it's technically, and I tell people this, I even said it when we was rolling. I said it's really not AI. It's not real artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence will be able to be intuitive and learn.
Yeah.
What we call AI now need human input.
Gotcha.
Once it get to the point where it don't need human input, then it's really AI.
Oh,
But they already got a new name for it already for what don't need human input. They calling it artificial general intelligence or artificial super intelligence. And so they already set up for this.
For the next level.
These words, or however you want to call it, these gonna be these words that make you, oh wow, it's super intelligent.
Right. That's crazy. Do you see any cons to what's called AI now? Because a lot of people that are into it, even like yourself, I know y'all focus more on the pros of it, but some of the cons that I was thinking about when it was first really starting to pop out, because I'm a person, I don't trust the government at all. I don't trust the CIA, the FBI, and I know that they've always been hands-on in terms of assassinating black leaders, assassinating world leaders from other nations, framing, setting up people, MK Ultra, whatever you want to talk about. But in this day and age, I can see them using AI once they advance it enough to where they could have you right on TV saying, yeah, I killed those 3 little girls, and yeah, I did that. And you won't be able to detect. You can watch AI now, and you can tell it's AI if your eye is keen enough. Do you see what are the cons you see in it as far as what they can do to?
That's one of them, but that's one of the main ones. But the crazy thing is that it's not mainstream what you're talking about, but it's there. It exists.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
Right.
I've seen it. I can be recording this podcast right now and take all our voices, and I can go and train an AI model on your voice
to duplicate, yeah,
but not just duplicate the sound of your voice, but all the inflections, everything, how you pause, how you talk, how your accent, everything. Yeah. It'll pick all that up and recreate it.
And the untrained person, why? See, because like I say, I always felt like they were doing it on baby levels just to kind of just toss it out there. Like I saw a LeBron press conference where he was saying a bunch of reckless stuff, but it wasn't really him, it was AI. But like you say, sounded like him, paused like him, up and down, voice inflections and all that. So I look at that, to me, that's like almost like just a training, it's an experiment for how it would really be if it's somebody they really wanted to come after.
Yeah.
They could present something like that in its flawless form. It could really make people be like, no, that's the real deal.
The scary part is like what we seeing now is the trash.
The baby form. That's what I say. In its flawless form, in advance. Yeah.
And we like, damn, that was not bad.
That's how I can detect it, because it is in the earth. I'm looking. I'm like, nah, man. First of all, I know he ain't gonna really say that,
right?
But also, I'm looking at yeah.
But let me tell you, I want to ask you this: what do you think's the future for artists when you got something like that that's building it all up mathematically?
So that's a tough one, because like us original genuine artists, we like the artistry of, we like the creativity, right? Mm-hmm. And you don't want to take that from nobody. But then you have artists that are being brought up in this age that's going 100% use it. And I'm kind of like in the middle, because I am in the tech stuff, and I am into AI and all the other stuff. But I think it just, I was telling K Water, I was like, it's not to hinder you. I think it's going to help you move faster. It's going to speed up your workload.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For me, I use it in that way. So like, I'm a developer. I develop websites, apps, and I develop cryptocurrency and stuff like that on the side. Yeah. So they got AI programs now that help me speed up my process. Yeah. So like, if I need to, instead of me, I could deliver, if it take me a week to deliver a website, and I could probably do it in 1 day, 2 days.
Cause they give y'all the verbiage and the
and those are the pros. See, because
the pros,
when you mentioned that, it made me think about something like we was talking about with K Water. It's like, if I equate it to, if I'm an engineer and I'm still using the board, I'm using reel-to-reels.
Right.
So now Pro Tools comes along.
Yeah.
So if I take my mindset into saying, well, you know what, man, I ain't worried about that computerized Pro Tools stuff. I ain't worried, and I'm gonna stick to how I've been doing it, then it's gonna be a lot slower of a process. So most engineers had to transition over into the computer programs and things of that nature. I kind of look at it the same way, where you use it, and it's not what it is, it's how you use it.
How you use it.
That's why it's pros and cons. But the question I would ask, because I know, I'm just like you said, most artists have the pride of just their artistic grind. Yeah. And I'm definitely one of those. But the question I would ask is like, what would be better to do? Because people put those AI programs in use to come up with a hook, like we do Young Pro stuff, things, and it sounds just like, it sounds good.
Super good.
So would it be better to be a natural, authentic artist, and I got a singer on my hook that sounded like trash singing off key, but it's real art, or that AI singing and it sound perfect?
That's the answer.
First of all, like musically, you never want to be off key, no matter what.
It's song that drop on the radio, and you be like, man, that dude ain't even on key. You just got to have that ear. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the politics side of radio that a lot of people don't understand. But you know, like you can. I mean, I got a bunch of songs that I generated with AI.
Yeah.
I write the lyrics and
let it go.
I put it in there and give it some instructions, and it's gonna come back with something that's damn near perfect.
Yeah.
I can't scared of that.
Yeah.
We were showing the one where it was writing raps. We showed the one where it was doing the beats.
See, that was my artistic side rebelling.
Yeah.
You know, because you got to look. I come from the old school era. I have released all that, and I have released I have released a record in every form possible that have ever existed except 8-track. I've had vinyl, cassette, CD, all the way up to whatever. But the thing of it was is like I still had to go through those same processes like we was talking about with an engineer having to adapt to Pro Tools and computer programs. Right. I can remember a time when, not saying this new, but I can remember a time where I had too much pride as an artist to even punch in on my vocals. Yeah, I was like, man, I can rap it. I can rap it all the way through. I ain't got to punch in. Yeah, and the engineer was like, nah, man, you keeps your energy up. You breathe and you sound like you're about to run out of breath. So you got to kind of adhere to things that's gonna make the finished product sound better.
But see, that's the thing. That's the evolution of the game, right? Because it was a time where you not finna punch in, right? You crazy? No, I'm finna get it. That was a challenge.
Yeah.
And then, especially, I don't know about everybody else. When I got older, it was like I'm punching every other line.
I'm the punch in king, man.
I'm punching in.
Punch out.
Yeah. So, but all that is saying is that over time, you wanna maximize what your output. You know? So you want to be able to go ahead. So like now, okay, you put out 7 albums at one time. Yeah. That's crazy, but you put out 7 albums at one time. I don't know how long it took you to make all 7.
Yeah, 9 months. It was a pregnancy. Yeah.
He took 9 months to drop 7 albums. So now you can drop 7 albums in 1 month.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
But see, I would feel like I'm cheating if I did that though. Now I know, but like you said with the young people, but I would be like, if I was, I'm cheating, bro.
But I'm saying, but if you did it, you wrote the lyrics. I mean, you still got to write. You know, it ain't like you just, because
they ain't writing it for you, not yet, huh?
But
they write it.
Yeah.
That's what
you know what they are writing.
I'm telling you that.
Somebody went on Facebook and said, they say they went into an AI program and said, create a K-Reno type verse.
And it gets you.
And it did it. And he listened. And I'm reading like,
that is pretty good.
It kind of sound like something I might say. I was kind of worried, like, man, watch out, man.
It was like 85%.
Yeah, it was close. It was it was some stuff I was like, nah, I wasn't. But the majority, I was like, I had to give it up. I was like, I probably will say something.
But because see, we were talking about the other day. We was wondering like, what's gonna be the future for the people? Because like we used to think about like graphic designers. We were talking about how like an album cover used to be about $2,000 or $3,000. Now it's like $25, $50. So that profession might have gone out the way. We were talking about producers, how producers used to charge so much for a beat. Now you can get it for like $120.
But see, so what happened? Because I produce a whole bunch of beats using AI, but you still I use them as references. So you know what I'm saying. Me personally, I use them as reference. Even the songs, I use them as a reference. I go take them to K Water. I be like, hey, look, I need this beat redone, and then I need to bring a vocalist in to sing this and da 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 da. So this is the outline. This is how I want it to sound. Now I've done it all in AI, but we got to do it for real now. You know what I'm saying? But that speed up my workflow.
Right.
Yeah, because like you have in your mind how you want something to come out, and then you put it in AI, and you be like, damn, it came out kind of like I wanted. Now I could just go in and perfect it faster.
So it's like an advanced version of almost like pre-production. Like in a way,
that's exactly that. And go back to what he's saying about the graphic design. I'm a graphic designer too.
Yeah.
So I'm still charging people the same amount because what you paying for is the fact that I know how to use AI to make it. You know what I'm saying? The same thing with the music. Somebody like I have another business called Mortuary Media, and when people want you to create a personalized song, I'm gonna use AI, and then I'm gonna bring Billy Cook in to sing it. I might, whoever, I'm gonna say, hey, I need you to learn this, and I'm gonna go to producer and say, hey, look, I need you to reproduce this record right here, and whatever, and then by the time the service come around, bam, we got an original song.
Right.
Well, what I'm gonna call original song, but AI really helped me lay the foundation of that record.
But if it's production out, AI not gonna give you the stems and none of that type of stuff. So you got
Psych.
What?
Yeah.
I'm finna go.
Yeah.
What the fuck is a stem?
The stems?
The breakdown of each instrument.
Oh.
Here's the hi-hat, here's the bass line, here's the kick, here's the snare.
So like they got programs right now that like maybe I haven't even used them in months.
Yeah.
So however many months ago, that was the worst that I've seen it.
Right.
They done updated several times since then. And yeah, so like the song the country song I did that in AI, took it over to K Water, stemmed out.
Yeah, wow.
I said take the vocals out, went over there with the stems, the musical stems, instruments, drums, bass, guitar, all that stuff stemmed out, and he laid it in there, and I went and rapped over it again.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So yeah, you get the stems too.
So
if you wouldn't have brought that up, I would have never said that. But that's because it's just natural. Yeah.
Cause I didn't even fathom that they could do it. So the question that I got to ask, and this is the question I probably have asked in my mind, but I never just got a chance to ask. Okay, so I ain't gonna say forget the vocals. We'll start with the instrumentals. Okay, if it's AI, it's an AI program. You say, okay, bam, bam, make me a 1970s funk beat. Make me a Johnny Guitar Watson. Make me a Bootsy Collins Parliament Funkadelic style beat, and then it comes back to you. Okay, call me naive. Where the hell is this sound? Where do these sounds come from, bro?
So the AI, these are called what you call LLMs. They're large language models.
Gotcha.
And basically you train it on human knowledge. All the human knowledge up to where we at right now.
Right.
And can't no knowledge go past where we at right now. So normally the large language models are trained up to like 2023, 2024. So maybe next year to be updated, trained up to 2000. This the world knowledge.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, that we had now. So now when they get trained again, they're gonna get trained on AI knowledge.
Gotcha.
Because AI just hit a few years ago.
Right.
But it just started getting mainstream a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Not even a couple of years. Yeah, about 2 years ago, started getting mainstream. I was already in the space 9 years ago. I was already in AI space 9 years ago. I was already in the crypto space 13 years ago.
Right.
So it's like, it's here, but it's not, it's like, it's still fairly new. So it's like, I don't know if it's here to stay. I don't know how. I can't even predict what'll happen. I can't tell you what it'll be called next year. Yeah. But right now, AI, I'm gonna say we, but people that's in the space is using AI to do a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. They're using AI they're creating AI bots to add liquidity to cryptocurrency and stuff like that. So cryptocurrency can stay where it is. Right now, Bitcoin is like at $76,000 and dropped $40,000 straight up.
Yeah.
So anybody that was into it thinking, hey, I'm gonna get into Bitcoin because it's an investment. It's not an investment.
Right. So you don't know the future.
You don't know the future of it.
It's hot right now. Like the look.
You see the fad.
Chicago Bulls was winning all these championships in the 90s. Like now they in a lottery team. You never know what's gonna be in 5 years, 10 years. So so that's an interesting thing.
You can follow the trend of what has happened in every 4 years. They have like every 4 year trend. Mm-hmm. They show you the ups and downs of the AI and the crypto and all the different technology stuff. What people are getting into right now is, AI is doing so much. What we call AI is doing so much right now. What what people are doing now that's in these spaces is making physical things, right? They're trying to make things that a person can touch and so and use AI to do it. They're using the 3D printers and they're using AI to create the format of it to 3D print something out and then figure out how to make these gadgets that's new, that's coming. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, what's the big word now is quantum.
Gotcha.
So we got crypto, AI, you got this quantum, and the problem with quantum is it's a physical state of matter that's unstable right now. But they using it as this big old giant word that they putting out there and making everybody think it's some big deal. It's just it's not stable. Can't nobody use it. Ain't got no way to keep it cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got to be able to cool it. I'm talking about quantum computers. There's no quantum computers. Can't nobody even fathom a quantum.
It just sound good. I guess.
Sound good. Yeah.
Let me ask you this: when it comes to the AI, is there any way they start talking about like the rights of like plagiarism, or how you gonna own something that you get through AI?
So that's been a big deal too. So like they done tried to sue a couple of the companies. I don't want to say the names because I mean you ain't getting nothing for it, but a couple of the companies that's been letting people generate music that sound like the Funkadelic or the certain rappers or certain singers and stuff like that, when they've been going back and forth to court and constantly winning. And I'm like, well, that did sound like, but I can see the differences and I can see where, and because your stuff is public domain and all these leaks, I don't know nothing about the law, the legal stuff, I don't understand it, but they've been winning. AI's been winning.
Oh, AI's been winning.
Oh,
I thought you
wow.
said the artist.
No, the artists ain't been winning.
Wow.
The artists ain't the ones that's really. Some artists are saying use AI, give me 50% of what you make off of it.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? But the record company, these are independent artists. The record companies are like, nah, we're gonna sue you because that's our property.
Yeah.
That sound like our property, so that's our sound. We finna sue you, and they go on to court and they lose.
Man, wow, unbelievable, man. The world is changing. The world is turning into something we never really imagined that it would get to. Now, as far as your own music and the things you working on, I heard you say you be incorporating a lot of that, but I know you are an artist as well. You put your thing down. What you got? What you working on? What's some of the new stuff you working on, and when can we expect that?
I'm working on a new album. This album, I'm working on a book. I'm working on an album. I'm working on my last album, making it into like a little, I want to say like a film. Yeah. And that's pretty much what I'm working on. And I'm just working on a lot of blockchain type of stuff. I'm trying to create new blockchain technology, just being creative in that space and trying to create new ways to put music out without having to go the traditional route. So that's something that I'm working on. And but music wise and creatively working on a new album. I'm finna start working on a new album in about a month from now because I got a couple of things in front of me, and I'm talking to a couple of people that shoot film to take my album and turn it into like a little mini film.
Yeah, that's dope.
And
try AI.
Huh?
I just fuck with you.
You gonna use AI? Yeah. You know he is.
Yeah.
Not like this is gonna be all from straight from the trench. You know what I'm saying? It's not. I don't see where unless they want to do like some special effects type of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't see AI being needed.
Right.
Maybe for the artwork, the cover art. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. But I like to go get photo shoots. So I don't see where AI would be that helpful. I don't know. And the people that's filming in the film industry, they tech people too, especially people that do the editing and stuff like that. Yeah. And AI is already incorporated in a lot of the suites, the film suites and the editing suites for film now anyway, even in Pro Tools. Yeah. AI is already incorporated. Update your Pro Tools or any one of your dials that you use to make music,
It's in there.
It's already in there.
Yeah.
So I'm telling your brother, I said, hey man,
He can't escape it.
I said, you don't like AI, right? I don't like it. I said, okay, well, when last time you updated Pro Tools? I just updated. I said, it got AI in it, right? He said, yep. I said, well,
I think what we gotta understand now is like you say, it's not. It doesn't have to be all the way to the left, all the way to the right. It's a middle ground or somewhere in between those two brackets that whether you are all in with it or whether you're totally against it, you can find ways for it to make it work. You can fuse it together some kind of way.
This is what I explained. You gonna, like you said, you gotta find how it worked for you. Yeah, like whatever. So like we creatives, right? We like doing what we like to do. We like to sit down and write. We like to create. We got to have an idea on our head and we want to bring it to life. And if AI don't fit in that, then you won't use it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if I see something out that I vision and I got the know-how to use AI to bring it to life, then I might use it, just depending on what I'm trying to do. Like, you don't know how to do graphic design.
Right.
But then you might have an idea that only you have in your head, and you try to explain it to another human, and they can't get that out. And then you go explain it to ChatGPT or one of these image generators, and you explain it exactly how you see it in your head, and it generate what you asked for.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, so that's I would say the people that's trying to clamor to the AI stuff right now, they all gonna start falling off of the AI stuff. This is what I think the future AI is gonna be. Everybody's gonna end up going back into the consumerism of using whatever they use, but AI is gonna be included, and they not gonna be the ones that's using it. They're gonna be the ones consuming it.
Gotcha.
Okay. Like, I'm gonna use it for you to consume.
Right.
Or you gonna use it for the next person to consume because of the position we in and how we move. Right.
I've seen something the other day online where they was saying it was a guy that was like has a marketing firm, and he was using AI to actually do, I guess, most of the marketing for his clients, and then the clients say that's AI, and fired his ass. So it's like, I don't use your AI, but be creative, because the stuff you putting out, they ain't even sounding like me. It's way too professional.
Yeah, because that's called lazy.
Yeah.
So you can't be. That's the other part. Is why I say people that's trying to clamor to the AI stuff right now, they're gonna end up falling.
His
off.
craftsmanship was sloppy or something.
It was just that I know people like that. I know people that use AI and try to present. Somebody sent me a website the other day that they trying to build a banking website, and they use all AI. And I was like, this is trash.
So you don't have none of your own. None of your own sauce on it. Yeah.
Nothing. It was badly built. All the images was AI generated, and I was like, this is terrible.
It's like somebody recognize. It's like a real graphic designer that recognizes something photoshopped.
Yeah.
Like they'll post a picture up, and everybody be commenting on the picture as if it's real, but then one person will say, man, that's Photoshop. Yeah. But we didn't recognize it, but
we live in a
did.
world right now where AI is recognizable.
Yeah.
It's recognizable when certain people, when the average person go and use AI, we know that's AI.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A person like me use AI.
But you may know.
I can tell you.
No.
I bet it's some. I can pick up, but I bet it's some naive people out there that's like gonna ride with it like it's real. You gotta really be naive, huh?
AI missing weird stuff, like you get 6 fingers. Yeah, like 3 years.
Yeah.
Them days,
they get it together.
If you still seeing that, then they not even using AI no more.
They using IA.
AI done got past that was last year. That was so last year. I'm talking about every image generator now. You ain't finna have that problem.
Okay.
The too many fingers, not enough fingers, mutilated hands, and all that kind of stuff.
They already done advanced past that.
Man, I started with AI from the beginning. I'm gonna tell you, I can go and show you my whole portfolio from all the AI generated images I made from the beginning up to now.
Yeah.
And I take some of the same prompts from 4 years ago and regenerate them same prompts and be like, nigga, what?
See, what's the prompt?
Yeah, I have no idea. but I can kind of get the feel to just make I guess the templates and the foundations.
Now,
of it and all
a
that.
prompt is what you tell it.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
basically just tell it.
Okay.
It's basically what you tell it. You say I want to generate the style of an album cover, a photo realistic, and you telling it what you want. That's a prompt.
Gotcha. Yeah, okay.
And then they got it where you can put a prompt in the chat GPT so it can write out a prompt for a prompt, and it makes it even crazier.
I need a prompt for this prompt that I'm getting ready to prompt up.
Now the other thing about ChatGPT like when I say ChatGPT is trained on world knowledge. So like if you've done anything that's been public, then ChatGPT knows about it. I could go on ChatGPT right now and say, who is K Reno the rapper?
Yeah,
It's
I
gonna
did
tell
it.
you everything about you.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You say, who is Mr.
That's
Cap,
crazy.
the rap artist Mr. Cap from Houston? You don't have to say all that. Just say, who's the rap artist Mr. Cap?
It's that ism rapper.
Yeah. Yeah.
About that pimpin', baby.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Well, man, we sure appreciate the education, man, as always. Cause like I say, I be rolling with Cap sometime, and he's enthusiastic and real about it. Not for real, because I think what's in his mind is that he sees the value in this technology, and he recognizes in us, like, dude, y'all ain't on it like y'all need to be on. Y'all not getting it. You know what I'm saying? So he urges and pushes us, and we be slow dragging. I feel like, yeah, okay.
But he's the most valuable person on the team if it's something like
Yeah,
that.
because
that visionary, that future person that can see
future.
that.
Yeah. It's advancement, and our collective understanding of it could definitely lead to the collective success.
Yeah.
We have fans that's in the space already.
Yeah.
We have fans that's in that crypto space, is in that NFT space, and if we don't never go into that space, we'll never be able to tap into them fans that's there. We got fans that'll rather see the digital version of your T-shirt than to have the physical version. Right. Because to them, they could display that on their phone, on their wall, on their digital screens and stuff on their wall, because that's their museum for
That's
them.
their world.
That's their world.
Yeah.
And then, oh man, it's so many things we missing. You missing the people that's have VR on their face all day, and they be walking through these worlds.
What is VR?
Yeah, virtual reality.
Virtual reality.
I was
Okay,
telling
cool.
about,
Okay,
I was telling you that the other day when I was saying how the website's gonna be in the future later on.
Yeah.
And everything in that virtual reality.
Now I haven't even went over to that. I can afford to do it. Yeah. All of my partners that I had these startups with, like, why you ain't got the VR yet so we can get in these meetings and stuff? They be all over the world. They be wanting to get into meetings and stuff like that. I said, man, I'm gonna put it up on my screen, because whatever you pull up in the VR, you pull up on the computer screen.
Gotcha.
I just pull up on the screen, man. I don't care about that. But like we sitting here at this table and she's sitting over there right there. In VR, we don't have to even be in the same country.
Right.
We can sit at this table, have the same podcast just like this.
Cap sitting in a meeting in Germany.
All you gotta do is have those lokes on, but they gonna be VR lokes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, long they ain't crooked. Like, nah, man, that's AI. Look how crooked this lokes is. Yeah.
Like straighten up in VR.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we had the VR on. We sit in the tub on the toilet.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm just saying.
Right.
I'm just saying, like,
Hey, man, can y'all take me off the toilet, man?
Man, that's
no,
cold.
you're not gonna see you like.
No, just talking.
We're gonna see you like you at the table, like you.
But the real me is on the toilet. Okay, I
you
got
on the toilet.
I was
movies like this.
I was telling you can get the AI K Reno and have him in your house and doing all kind of shit, doing freestyles with him. And
y'all, you can book the AI me, book the virtual reality me, and pay me, and then I'll.
Yeah, that can happen. We can put a paywall up anytime somebody want to have you. Coming to their world and get in a booth or something like that to record.
That's
then,
crazy.
Bam, the paywall will come up, $8,000, and then bam, K Reno will come out. You know what I'm saying? And hey, you really there with them in the VR or in virtual reality world, and you can walk into the booth and everything.
It reminds me of when they was doing like Tupac holograms and all that type of stuff. It's kind of in that vein.
Yeah,
it's
just in
kinda,
that vein.
But more advanced.
It's
totally different.
It's not nowhere near that.
Okay.
There's nothing that when they did that the hologram stuff and the Michael Jackson, Tupac,
yeah.
that wasn't no artificial intelligence. That was some totally
a projector screen.
That was
That was different. That was something different. But I thought it was dope though. I thought it was like,
Okay.
It was cool to see Pac and Michael Jackson like that.
Wow, that's insane, man. Yeah. Well, man, give them your social cap. Let them know how they can find you, anything you got going on. Let them know.
I was just gonna say my social security number.
No, I don't mean that.
Damn. Yeah. Man, hey, I'm on Facebook, Instagram. Instagram is Mr. Cap Ism.
Isms, baby.
Is Mr. Cap 11. Twitter, Twitter X is Mr. Cap 1. Y'all all that stuff is on my website at mrcap1.com. So it's better to go to my website. It's better for all you artists to get a website so that you can't get cloned and hacked. Everybody will know that that's actually you when they click on your social media.
That's right.
So, and I mean, everything is on my website. Merchandise, music, everything in there. If you just have to go to Spotify, Apple Music, it's somewhere buried on the website. You have to find it.
One thing I cut for your website, because I checked it out earlier today too, is that everybody's from the SPC is on that bad boy too. Yeah. He got links for all y'all.
Yeah, I make sure like if they don't have a website, I'm definitely linking they social media. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we gotta do. Everybody got to cross promote each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what make us our SEO good on the internet. The SEO stands for search engine optimization. And so, like, if somebody
nerds up in here, man.
Well, I do websites too. So that's what I'm saying. I understand you.
So what you use when you build websites?
I have multiple. I usually do WordPress.
Oh, hell no.
See, that's old school, but it's easier, quick.
That's the 8-track version of websites.
Pretty much. Like, anybody still using WordPress is crazy. And they
Keystone.
Disrespecting my
Keystone, come on, man. Give him the game, man.
What you use?
I would say if you're using WordPress, you better off just going ahead and using Wix. Yeah, Wix too.
I don't fuck with Wix. Wix is bullshit. You don't even own it. You don't even own Wix. You paying 3 times more.
Okay, do this. Use lovable.dev or Replit.
Okay. Replit.
Oh,
that's the AI thing?
Yeah,
I heard of that one.
Use Replit. I've been using Replit and lovable.dev. If somebody give me a company brief, they say, okay, we need a website. I always ask for a company brief. And all I do is take that company brief as a PDF and I drop that PDF in one of those 2 apps and it'll build a website in like 30 seconds.
We're going to talk after this.
30 seconds, 5 minutes. Yeah. And it'll have a website probably like 85% there. Then you have to go back in. If you know how to read and interpret code.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you know how to read code, interpret code, or write code, then you can go in and fix whatever, update whatever need to be updated and fix whatever need to be fixed.
And it be on that platform.
Because it write the code for you.
Okay.
It'll write
the PHP codes?
Everything.
Okay.
PHP, CSS. HTML, Java,
and you upload it.
It write all the code. So if you
sound like they speaking.
You didn't upload it. All right, now we got to get.
No. Like, and then it'll set up the back end. So if you got to do the database stuff, it got a database part where it say, okay, now let's build a back end. So you can do a full stack.
Shut up.
Situation.
Oh yeah, we talking after this. I ain't know I can do that.
Yeah, you can do a full stack. So like, some people just a front end. You got some people that's just back end. Then you got some people that's full stack. I'm a full stack developer, so I understand it all. Right. So all you got to do now is like, now that you got this AI that'll write all the code, that'll take you a week to write, right?
Oh, your own, yeah.
Yeah, you got 3,000 lines of code to write.
Man.
So that's gonna take you weeks, maybe.
That's how you was doing it?
Not WordPress. WordPress do all that shit.
WordPress.
3,000.
WordPress is trash. Let me tell you why it's trash. WordPress it got you updating plugins all day. So like you gotta, if I did your site in WordPress, then I'm gonna have to every week I'm having to update your website because of the plugin. And that's why I stopped messing with WordPress like 6-7 years ago. Because of that reason. Now I ain't gonna get it twisted. WordPress is like 80% of the market online. Right. Most of the websites are made with WordPress, and then WordPress makes some of the best looking.
You thinking past that? What's going? Yeah,
he's thinking developing.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm developing like WordPress is extremely the learning curve for WordPress. Somebody coming from writing code to using the WordPress site, the learning curve is extreme.
Gotcha.
It's like a 90-degree angle. You gotta cut that corner so hard, and it's not easy.
Yeah,
but I know people that are expert.
We going from flashcards to trigonometry.
I'm expert.
2 minutes.
You're expert WordPress. I can't, but I got a lot of WordPress clients that I'll send straight to the way.
Yeah. Come on, send them. I'm gonna give you the cut.
I can't stand WordPress.
Damn. Well, we banging on WordPress.
It's different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
I promise. Wix came up. Like Wix, I started with Wix back when it first started. So, but now Wix is like
trash.
Nobody like Wix. I haven't used it in a while since AI came out. I've been using Lovable and Cursor and Bolt and Windsurf and Replit. And I've been developing apps and all kinds of stuff. It's taking like 1 day, 2 days to knock them out. Yeah.
So like $1 million worth of game, this would be the business spotlight right here.
Hey, I'm all for it. See,
he just gave you a whole bunch of games.
I'm gonna tell you what makes me the man that I am today. Yeah. I know when to shut the hell up. When I don't know what I'm talking. When I don't try to jump in the car. Oh yeah, Lovable and I don't know, man. Y'all go ahead. I'll review the video later and study, but I ain't one of them dudes that's gonna try to act like I know something I don't know. Yeah,
nah, man. The world is changing when it comes down to technology. It's doing what it's supposed to do as far as the technology goes. Like I said, I think a lot of people gonna fall off of this AI bandwagon because people like to consume. More people like to consume than they like to create.
Yeah.
The people that create and develop and stuff like that, that's in that space, because AI is already integrated into WordPress already. It's deep off into WordPress. Like WordPress is one of the programs that you could set it up locally on your local machine, right? But then you don't have to set it up locally because now you can do it in the cloud. You can produce and develop in the cloud on WordPress, and they have all this AI technology already incorporated. So because they trying to stay relevant, they losing some of their market share because of all these other programs that done came out, and especially now that anybody that does not technically inclined but just got a little bit of, a little bit of sense, like you don't mess with tech like that, you literally can go and use one of them programs that I'm talking about.
Because I noticed when you said that, you kind of pointed at me.
He said, yo, dumb ass.
I'm saying because he's smart enough to go in. I say, hey, you want a website? You want to take your website and say, I want to update my website or whatever. I want my website to be like this, and you could tell it. You could just tell it what's on your mind,
right.
And then it's gonna produce what's on your mind, and then you be like, okay, well, can you fix this section? Can you fix this page? I want this to be this color. I want this box to look like this. You can do all that stuff talking plain to
right,
me. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
And then you can say, hey, Cap, this is what I did. You send me a link, and I look at it like, dang, you're a developer now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Cut this whole part out of the interview.
No. We leave it all in. Because this is a lesson. This is a classroom. This is
I would say, K, everybody. I've been trying to get I'm not trying to get nobody to do something they don't want to do. But the technology is it's steady moving.
It's inevitable.
It's inevitable. Yeah. Certain things are inevitable. So it's like, okay, everybody on this AI train right now. I think that it's a lot of benefits to AI that'll help us, not like change us, but make it where we can kind of
work smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
Work smarter, not harder, but also get us in a better position as the click. The SPC can be in a way better position with with way less money. It ain't gonna take no whole lot of money. Collectively, we can come together with a couple of $100 and throw it at something, and then let this AI stuff do whatever it do to help us push us forward.
Sound good.
I don't know what it'll be in the next couple of months. It's gonna probably be something different.
Right. Well, we appreciate the education, man. This one of them ones where y'all gonna have to watch and break down and parse and study and rewind and figure it out and research and Google and everything up under the umbrella, man. You know, like I say, man, guys, we start off in a creative zone in terms of music, but many of us find other passions and other things that we fall in love with as well that can all be incorporated into the art form. So we appreciate you coming through, Capellini.
Yes, sir.
My brother, man, and this gonna be another great one, man.
Yeah.
It's your big brother K Reno.
And it's your boy Key Stove.
Underground Dialogue Podcast, man. We are
Hey, it's your big brother K Reno. Look, man, the Underground Dialogue website is back in function. We back in motion, man. If y'all want Underground Dialogue Podcast merch, whatever you need, go to undergrounddialogue.com and check us out. And always make sure that every Wednesday night, y'all are checking out the Underground Dialogue Podcast right on YouTube, 9 p.m. Central Time. Yeah! What's up, man? It's your big brother K Reno, and check this out, man. The Underground Dialogue Podcast is offering advertising opportunities, man. You can promote your business, you can promote your video, your song, whatever it is that you have, man. Reach out to us if you're interested in promoting on the Underground Dialogue Podcast. All you got to do is email us at undergrounddialoguepodcast@gmail.com. Get it. What up, man? It's your big brother K Reno. I'm proud to announce that I'm a new brand ambassador to this new brand of clothing and shoes called Volage. Y'all make sure that y'all support this. It's already available. Houston-based company, straight out the A's. Look at the quality of the packaging itself. We ain't even got to the shoes yet, man. And this is just one pair of shoes, one design. They got all kinds of dope designs of shoes that you guys can choose from. Go to volage.biz and find your order, find what you want. Wide selection to choose from, male and female items, and I'm proud to be a part of it, man. Community workers, versatile products, Volage, manufactured in Italy. Look at the quality of this box, man. Y'all don't know what it is, man. Catch y'all later.